Arthur, what's happening? You guys are up early. You guys are maniacs. Haitian Fab, what's happening? Wayne, yes, indeed. You guys are maniacs. Candace, hey. Baltimore Ravens in the house. What's happening? I got work, bro. Lawless. Oh, you worked overnight. Woo, that's brutal. I ain't done that shit in years. My condolences to you, bro. I haven't worked a third shift in years. I probably couldn't do it if I tried. Yes, Marco. Yes, Hellboy is hella deep, hella deep, hella deep. Arthur, just night shift just got off. Man, yeah. Salute to the third shift crew, cause you know. But let me get right into the Hellboy movie review. So, backstory, which is pretty interesting with Hellboy. Um, K. Freeman, hey, Ryan, hey, it didn't suck, man. See, Hellboy, it didn't suck. It didn't suck. Um, Off the bat, when I first heard about the reboot, I was upset because no Guillermo, no Ron Perlman. I thought I was gonna miss Ron Perlman. David Harbour does a very good job of playing Hellboy. You do not miss Ron Perlman watching this version of Hellboy. David Harbour, if you don't know who he is, the sheriff dad from Stranger Things, he does not disappoint. Christ has us in the fucked up hours. I bet, man. I bet. But first and foremost, let me talk about the most disturbing part of Hellboy. Remember in my Pet Cemetery movie review, I said you will see more movies glorifying violence against children. Okay. Hey, hell no, where's my Draco? Hey, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Now, remember my Pet Cemetery movie review, I said you're going to see more and more movies glorify and show violence against children. So let me get to the violent part of the child. So in the beginning, when the Baba Yaga is making a deal with the warthog, because she's telling the warthog what he needs to do to resurrect the Blood Queen, and she's playing with these little bones, like these little small hand bones, right? And she's making a stew of the hands of little children. These are little children hands she's playing with in the beginning. You don't realize that until she summons Hellboy to make a deal, and then there's a cut scene in her room. There's little children hanging up, hanging up by rafters, skinned, and all sorts of forms of decomposition or various forms of torture. So that was disturbing. They actually show little children hanging from her lair, like the witch, or the witch from Hansel and Gretel. She likes to eat children. This is basically the 2019 rated R version, right? Yeah, and then she tried to feed Hellboy the soup made from the little dead children's hands. I was just like, wow. Okay, so backstory. I'm not sure if people realize Hellboy's backstory. Hellboy is the half demon spawn from a human woman and Azazel. Azazel is Hellboy's father. The backstory goes his hand was grafted onto his body by Azazel. The hand, called the Unan Amraman or something like that, basically the right hand of Doom, was the last remnant of the Agdru Jana or something. Basically, the Agdru was like the Christian version of the Fallen, right, from Lucifer's tribe, like the Watchers that bred with women, and God smite them all. They destroyed all of Agdru's remnants and all his creations, and they left the right hand. Right, so the right hand somehow ended up in hell with Azazel. Azazel got a hold of it. So basically, Hellboy is the Antichrist. Hellboy is the Antichrist because everyone knows he's the one. All prophecy says he's the one to bring about the apocalypse. He's the one that's going to release the Agdrujana that's all been in prison. Okay, he's the one. That's why the right hand is important. So it's not his real right hand; it's the right hand of a fallen spirit, rather, like like one of the Watchers. Right. So his mother is a descendant of King Arthur, which is why he's the only one that's able to hold Excalibur. Okay, so getting back to it, the Blood Queen in the very beginning, Arthur and Merlin go to make a deal because there's this war between demons or creatures of the night versus man. Arthur and Merlin go to make a deal with the Hell Queen. They turn against the Hell Queen with the help of one of her sisters. They cut her into 8 pieces with the Excalibur. She can't die. She's immortal. She's immortal. She can't die. So they, just like, I don't know, like Justice League, they all hide the body parts throughout various parts of the world, right? So the Baba Yaga sends the Warthog to go get all the pieces to resurrect the Blood Queen. We see Hellboy go to Mexico to go retrieve one of his buddies that's been turned into a vampire. He's been missing. The whole Lucha Libre scene was kind of funny. There's still the tension between Hellboy and his dad, because basically Hellboy's like an overgrown teenager and the dad is dad, and there's that back and forthness, right? And then we meet Alice. Oh, okay, so he gets sent off on a mission to go to England to help hunt giants, right, by the Osiris Club that his father used to be cool with. They used to go on hunts together. Come to find out, they all too have been waiting for the prophecy of Hellboy to return. They were all sent to Germany years ago during World War II to go kill whatever came through the portal, right? So Rasputin was the one that summoned Hellboy through the portal. The Osiris Club with his father all were there. Lady Hammond, whatever her name is, the sightseer, they were all present during Hellboy's arrival. The father decided not to kill him, take him in. The Osiris Club has always been like, nah, we got to get him. One day we're gonna get him. So they all made a deal. They stayed hella young to just in case to see the prophecy for the chance to kill Hellboy. All right, so they're on the mission. They ambush Hellboy. For some odd reason, then the giants come and kill the Osiris Club members, the ones that's on the hunt, which is weird. And then Hellboy kills the 3 giants by himself with basically their own weapons. I mean, it is Hellboy, so I guess. Then he's rescued by a little girl he saved years ago. I forget her name, right? She's a spirit medium. Her backstory is how he saved her is a fairy, because fairies like to steal children. A fairy had switched out her as a baby, and her parents sought his help. And fairy, it was a changeling. The changeling is a fake baby, right? Which was the warthog that wants revenge for Hellboy. So the baby's in there. It's a little mixed baby, and the baby is cute. He's like, oh, Gucci, Gucci, Gucci. So he brings out this iron horseshoe, and then the baby starts crying, really crying. And he's like, oh yeah, changelings don't like iron. And he puts the iron on the baby, and the baby turns into the little warthog. He's like, oh, you little shit, I'm gonna kick your ass, and yada. A little violent little thing. So then the warthog's trying to get away. He burns him with iron, like an iron clasp on his ankle. Still gets away. The fairies return the original baby, which is the girl that saved him years later. The spirit medium. I forget her freaking name. All right. So then she joins the BPRD along with the Asian cat that turns into a jaguar, because he was attacked by a jaguar spirit thing entity, which is the scars on his face. So he had to take medicine to keep him, to suppress him changing into the jaguar. They gave that away in the trailer, which was dumb. But okay, so the warthog is going up place to place, going through monasteries, killing people. Lots of gore, lots of blood. If you like body parts, if you like gore, this is your movie. Very, very gory, very, very bloody. The warthog is running through everybody. The monastery, oh my gosh. So the first piece he gets was the head, and he goes to the monastery. I think it's Saint Abby's monastery or whatever. And they all took a vow of silence. They all can't talk. The young monk is writing shit on the chalkboard. He goes in there, whoops everybody's ass, kills everybody. So he's like, "Oh, you don't want to tell me what you don't want to say, because only a man of God can break the open the boxes. All the boxes were sealed with Merlin with holy water, and only a man of God can unseal the boxes to free the body parts." So the warhog's like, "Oh, you don't want to say, you don't want to open the box for me, right?" So he rips out his tongue, his lower jaw, rips the whole thing out, eats the young boy's tongue, and then speaks the words of Merlin to unlock the first box, which is the head. Holy cow. So he's going from place to place, getting the box, getting the body parts. He goes to the Osiris Club. He kills everybody in the Osiris Club. Hellboy and them show up. He has the leg, or no, it's an arm, and they're fighting. He gets away, and then the Blood Queen comes to Hellboy in a vision. It's like, "Hey, you're fighting for the wrong side. I need a king by my side, because the prophecy is the Blood Queen needs a king to to rule and bring the apocalypse." She's trying to convince Hellboy, "Hey, it's not us, it's them." So then after the vision, things get testy between him and his dad, because he's like, "Yo, why are humans always constantly trying to kill monsters and things of the dark? Maybe things of the dark wouldn't be trying to kill humans if humans weren't trying to kill them." It tried to make it really deep, this confliction that Hellboy has between his loyalties to the humanity versus who he truly is, like a creature of the night, basically. Okay, so then the spirit medium has an ability to talk to the dead. So it's freaky, right? So they go to Lady Hammond's body. Her neck has been wrung. The spirit medium places her hand on her head, and then the Lady Hammond speaks and says, "Yeah, they're trying to resurrect the queen, and you're the apocalypse on two legs, and this is how you stop her, whatever the case may be." So how it's almost like Poltergeist, when the creature comes out of her mouth and it's like this slimy tube, and then the body at the very top, and it's slimy and drippy and like a tentacle, like a worm out of her mouth. That's how and you have to see it. It's creepy how she speaks to the dead. The dead speak to her, whatever. All right, so now they're on the hunt. They go to Pendle Hill. Pendle Hill is where the blood of the Blood Queen was soaked into the tree after they beheaded her and cut her up into a bunch of pieces. So they go to stop the Blood Queen. It's pretty much too late. Blood Queen is pretty much at her full strength. Hellboy gets beat up again. The father gets taken captive. She kills him, slits his throat. Yada yada yada. There's parts I'm leaving out, but for the most part, so then there's a scene they have to go. The girl gets stuck with a thorn in her neck, right? The young seer girl. So Jaguar Man, the young girl, they go to the sister that betrayed the Blood Queen, tries to get back in the Blood Queen's graces. She says, "I need you to do something for me. I need you to tell Hellboy to go to Merlin." Merlin was buried because he betrayed King Arthur, right? So they go to find Merlin's grave. They dig him up. Merlin's like, "Hey, are you the Reaper to come take my soul?" He's like, "Nah, not likely, not exactly." So Merlin saves the girl, takes out the poison dart, tells Hellboy his lineage, who his mother is, like, "Yo, here's Excalibur. I need you to take it, and so you can go kill the Blood Queen." So when he grabs a hold of Excalibur, he sees a vision of him bringing the apocalypse. This is the scene in the trailer where he's riding a fucking dragon, the horns with the flame crown in the middle, like Hathor, and he's got the Excalibur's on flames. It's lit up. It's badass him riding the dragon. It's like, oh wow, if he brought the apocalypse, that would be so cool the way they filmed it, right? And he lets the sword go because he's afraid of that vision. He's afraid that he's going to turn dark and be what they want him to be, or his true nature. So the sword disappears. Everyone's mad at him because he had a chance to grab the sword. He's like, "Nah, I saw a vision. I don't want to bring the apocalypse. Whatever. They'll find another way." So then moving forward, they're back in England. The scene where the creatures come from hell. Holy cow, these different demons. and the way they kill the people, awesome. For that scene alone, for that scene alone, one demon had a hand for a sword and grabbed the black guy, threw him on top of his sword, slit him down the middle. The one lady got split in two. Holy cow. I mean, the kill scene when the demons come from hell, worth every dollar. The one demon you saw walk across the bridge in the water, one demon, shot out fire. It was awesome. And then the Blood Queens walking through the town, giving everybody the plague. They're all, like the bubonic plague almost, and they all skin all bubbles up and shit. It is crazy. It's crazy. Timekeeper was going on. So then they make their way for the final battle. Wow, I'm really missing bits and pieces of this movie. I'm so sorry. I seen it yesterday. I should have done it yesterday when it was fresh in my memory, but I didn't do it because for whatever reason. No, you want to see this, Genesis. You want to see this. Listen, the symbology in this movie, you need to see this movie. You need to see this movie. Really, really, really. Just for the signs and symbols alone, worth it. Their depiction of certain entities and how they would envision the apocalypse. These people, they saw something clearly. You definitely need to see this just for the research factor alone, right? So many different kills. Yeah, the one demon ripped the man's skin off. It was worth the price of admission. So then, basically, he falls into a pit, right after she brings his father, slits his throat. He dies. Somehow the ground cracks open, and in England they're on top of the Excalibur, right? And then you see the black and white checkerboard, because they got to do that, of course. There's Excalibur. He grabs Excalibur, and then he gets the horns, the flaming crown, and then he's basically about to turn and be who she wants him to be. She's like, come to me. He's pretty much under the spell because he's basically about to turn, right? And she's like, yeah, go ahead and let's kick it off and let's start it. So then the spirit medium, channels his dad, and his dad comes out of her mouth and says, hey, no, you're a good man. I raised you right. This is not you. You're not like them. Yada, yada, yada. So then, basically, Hellboy in all full glory chops off the Blood Queen's head, throws it in the pit of hell. Mind you, the woman cannot die. She is immortal. So he chops off her head, throws it in the pit, throws it in fucking hell, and that's pretty much it. I mean, they dispensed of her like 5 minutes. 5 minutes, all it basically took once he got up and running to kill her. Like, it was, didn't even kill her. Like, it was just like, oh, that's it? That's it? Like, Excalibur is like that sword, man. And that was it, really. That everything went back to normal for the most part. And then 6 months later, somebody remind me what happened after 6 months. They did something 6 months later. Somebody remind me. Miss B, what's happening? Is it really better than the first one? Well, actually, there's two of them. Hellboy 1 and 2. The Golden Army. Am I going to say, is it better than either one of them? That's a tough one. Gonna say not really. First one is a classic. Second one, there was problems, but still, pretty good. No, I'm gonna have to say it's not better than the first two, but their reimagining is different. I liked this look of Hellboy, to be honest with you. I liked David Harbour is fucking jacked. He went to the gym, clearly. I liked the yellow eyes. The hair, when he's a hairy dude, this look was, I liked this look. I liked this look of Hellboy. Yes, they found Abe Sapien or Trichto something Sapien. She scratches off. She's like, "What's a Trichto Sapien?" And then you see the hand on the screen. So they find Abe Sapien. If you remember Abe Sapien, the Aquaman, Merman, him, right? So obviously they're leading to the sequel when they all come together again. And the girl's name is Alice, right? The girl's name is Alice, the seer, the young girl that he saved. So I forgot when they said the secret society, man. The sound was off, or somebody else was talking when he mentioned what society they were going after this next go around. When he said 6 months later, so I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again to catch the end of it. Yeah, they had they mentioned Bohemian. You had the Osiris, and that third one I couldn't catch for whatever reason, man. So yeah. Oh, Hecate. Hecate was one of them. So you had Osiris, Hecate, and the third one that I couldn't catch at the very end when they found Ape Sapien. So yeah, it's just for the research factor alone, just to say, let me look this up and see what this is and see what that is. It's worth it. You know, it's worth it. Is it I would say matinee it. Don't do general admission. Do a matinee for this. Wake the hell up! I see you, bro. Definitely matinee it. So hopefully it makes enough to warrant a sequel. I mean, I know a lot of people are bashing it. It's not a bad movie. I did not like it. I sat there and watched it, and I liked what I saw for the most part. Especially their depiction of certain entities and their abilities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Like I said, Ryan. Just for if you're into all the weird, creepy shit, then you have to go see this movie and movies like it. Even like I said, the Baba Yaga, that she was oh my god, she's creepy. She has peg legs, right? And she can walk, and she's so contorted and twisted. She can walk upside down on her back. It was weird. And then they were fighting, right? So I missed that part. So when Baba Yaga summoned Hellboy to make a deal, he's like, "Look, where can I find?" She's like, "I'm the one that sent the Warhawk to go do all this stuff. Now, what you want to do to stop all this?" And she's like, "Look, I want one of your eyes, and I have to kiss you. I want to kiss, right?" So she kisses him, all slimy. And she's like, "Which eye can I have? The right or the left eye?" And he's like, you didn't specify a time frame, so you're gonna have to wait for that eye. And then she tries to kill him, and the way she's moving around, and she's like an old hag. Her skin's hanging off, like her titties are just oh my god. A brilliantly designed creature, and the movements of this thing creepy as hell. The peg legs and the hooks and with the hands, and then she lives in a house that walks on two chicken legs. Oh, classic. Coconut chicken fingers at the studio grill. Ooh, you know what? Yeah. Make sure it's a matinee though. Man, so this movie, I got to go see this again. So many things. Just as far as different societies and the apocalypse and but like I said, clearly Hellboy is the Antichrist. That's it. And then if you know his backstory, there's references linking him to Thoth, the Watchers, the Fallen. So it's pretty elaborate. It's a pretty elaborate, especially if you're a fan of the comics. Right. Oh yes, Marco. Yes. So when the queen's all assembled, because she's on the couch watching TV and her hand is over there controlling the remote, right? So when they put the queen back together, the three witches, their eyes are sewn shut. They're using active thread from their eyelids to stitch her back together again. Crazy scene. Crazy scene. Yes. Thank you for reminding me that. Yeah, they're pulling the thread from their eyelids and they're just stitching her back. It's And then she had to go back to Pendle Hill to get her blood out of the tree that was holding the blood for her. That's where she was decapitated and dismembered. That's where all her blood went into the tree. So, and I gotta go back and look up why Pendle Hill, because there's something about Pendle Hill that I didn't get a chance to research before doing this. So I'll definitely go check it up. You know, yeah, Guillermo del Toro is I don't want to call him a Satanist. I want to lean towards a Luciferian, because if you watch Pan's Labyrinth, and remember in old interviews, he said he had dreams and visions of these creatures. They will come to him. Okay, this is how deep Guillermo is immersed in this nonsense. Well, not even say nonsense, but just immersed in the craft. All right, so during those first two Hellboys, someone asked him, well, how do you get these creature designs for Pan's Labyrinth? And he said, because he has a very heavy accent. He said, I have these visions, and these creatures come to me in my visions, and I wake up and I draw them out. So every creature you saw in Pan's Labyrinth came from Guillermo's dreams or visions. Same thing with Hellboy, came from Guillermo's dreams and visions. You know what I'm saying? So that's he is very into the whole what is it? The Thule Society, the Thelema Society. So you should look up the Society of Thule and Thelema. Okay, that's your Blavatskys, your Crowleys, and some other stuff. That's Pascal Beverly Randolph, but definitely Thule. So when you see this, people like the ski, right? And you see the ski rack on the top of their cars, it says Thule, Thule. That's an actual society, Society of Thule, right? Or Thule, and then Thelema. Is it worth full price? Matinee, see over. Matinee this bad boy. I mean, yeah, matinee it, man. I did general admission, and I was just like, no. But I would suggest you matinee it. Guy that like what's happening. Yeah. Yeah, I stopped watching The Strain after like the third season, man. Because I was just like, you know what? They're just dragging this shit out. I'm cool. You know. So that is pretty much my movie review for Hellboy. Definitely just for research alone. Take a notepad and write down the names of these societies. Look it up, and you'll be surprised at what you find. Hey, if there's a $4 Tuesday matinee, go. I do it. Thule is where Hitler started. This was the Society of Thule is predates Hitler, but Hitler picked up on it, right? So yeah. So I'm out of here. I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna try and get back on maybe later on today. This is definitely going on the movie review channel, and yeah, I love the Lord of the Rings. I love Lord of the Rings. I hope with this Amazon series, they're going back, predating Aragorn and everybody. I want to see more of Thranduil. He is my favorite character of all the Lord of the Rings movies. I only watch Lord of the Rings for Thranduil, played by Lee Pace. I would love to see his backstory when they was fighting the dragons of the North. Him and his dad. He's my favorite character, man. I don't care about nobody else but Thranduil. He's such an arrogant prick, right? He's such an arrogant fucking elf prick. And I'm like, if I was an elf king, I'd be like him. I'd be a prick and an asshole. He's an asshole, and I love it. Thranduil, my favorite Lord of the Rings character, without question. So, yeah, but the children scene, it's like I said, you're gonna see more and more movies depicting violence towards children. So do not be surprised moving forward at this point, guys. The line has definitely been crossed. Even though this was an R-rated movie, still, but yeah, we can briefly talk about the Star Wars 9 trailer. It looked good. I'm not going to nitpick because it was literally 20 seconds, but it looked good. My interest has been piqued. They had no choice but to retcon what Rian Johnson's his horrible vision. You had no choice but to go back to J.J. Abrams and retcon a whole bunch of that mess. So J.J. Abrams is going to be the man that saves this franchise. Seriously, seriously, seriously. Yeah. So yeah, I'm mildly looking forward as I see more trailers come out, and then we get the and then that I'm sure one of my buddies is going to send me part of the script, and then once I'm able to read part of the script and see the actual direction and how then I'll be like, okay, either I'm gonna get amped up for this, or I'm gonna wait to, to the hype dies down for the most part. I hated Ryan. No, no one liked Ryan. You're the only person that's okay with Ryan. Everybody hated Ryan for what he's. No, he's ruined this. He ruined it. He ruined it. He put this shit on life support, man. He put this shit on life support, bro. No, 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 no. You would be hard pressed to find anybody that liked Ryan's vision for what he did with Star Wars. You're so the minority at this point. Like you're less than the minority, right? But yeah, that's we'll see. Your buddies don't have parts of the script for Endgame. Okay. Here's the thing with Endgame. Everybody knows they shot multiple endings. So the stuff that I get, they don't even know what ending they're gonna go with. They shot a bunch of them, right? And then I keep hearing this crazy theory that Thanos is gonna kill Captain Marvel. Man, listen. Let me tell y'all something right now. Please don't believe for a hot New York minute that Thanos is going to kill the white god, the white female god of the MCU. Captain Marvel is the white woman god of the MCU. Stop playing. That character is going nowhere. She's going to be the next Stark of this next wave of movies, without question. Okay? Yeah, it's clearly they go back in time to get their version of the Infinity Stones and whatever the case. Captain Marvel ain't going nowhere. She's gonna be the next head honcho, right? She's gonna be the next leader of the Avengers moving forward. So they're not gonna kill off their feminist leader as JW leader of the MCU. Okay, so it's not gonna happen. So stop with that nonsense. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have a good one. Peace.